It's like the glare from the lights there. Anyway, welcome to my live stream. A lot of people seem to like when I'm live streaming from Sportsman's. Try and wipe that off there. And cleaned it with some hand sanitizer before live streaming. I think we were getting some glare in the lights. I didn't wipe it off good enough. That goes to my first tip of the day. Be resourceful. In a survival situation, you're never going to know what you have with you. You're probably not going to have your full gear or your full kit. I think it's kind of humorous because my wife always looks at my six-pocket cargo shorts or pants stuffed to the gills and says, why do you have to carry all that stuff? Hey, good afternoon, Kelly's Vlogs. Good afternoon. Oh, no problem, Zacchaeus. Hey, you swim. You have fun, my friend. Hey, Kelly, we'll have to do a live stream together sometime. I think we'd have fun. Reach out to me on that. Text me. We'll figure something out. Anyway, I would like to say this, okay? You're never going to be in a survival situation with everything you think you have, you're packed, you're ready, or you're prepared for. Whenever you go camping, whenever you go traveling, whenever you go outdoors, I want one person out there to tell me that they haven't forgot one thing. You always forget one thing. You just hope the one thing that you forget is not something you desperately need. That's why the old adage is, 2 is 1, 1 is none. That's why you need a wife, you need a husband, you need a friend. Actually, the ideal number of people in a camping group or survival trip is 3, okay? 3 is the magic number for an outdoor trip. You can work off of each other. You can cover each other's bases. If you have to, stay up to monitor your campsite, hey, eight hours, great. Cool. Well, anyway, shout out to my friend in Finland, Zacchaeus. He's a great guy. If I ever got a moderator, he'd be the one I'd go to. He does better moderating my comments than I do. Thank you for that. Shout out to my friend Kelly's Vlog. She has some great videos. Go check out her channel. Hope she gets to Lake Erie sometime and find some blue beach glass. I just put a short up. I have to get it. There's one left. Money's a little tight right now for everybody. I understand that. But if you want to donate to the channel, I do have a donation link now, and I will buy more gear and review it and use it for the channel. Hey, Denise. Shout out to Denise. If you haven't and you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. This is the My Camping Adventures channel live from Sportsman's Warehouse. My next piece of gear that I'm buying to review, and well, actually put Manhattan mix in. Or Manhattan, who is it? Bullet makes a pre-mixed Manhattan bourbon cocktail. So after I do the live stream here and I check out this flask, I'm going to get some Bullet pre-mixed Manhattan bourbon mix, and I'm going to put it in this flask. Not while I'm driving, of course, or after. I may have an adventure later, and it may involve this flask. Boy, Zacchaeus, you're living the life, man. I wish I could come to Finland and hang out with you. Swimming, cross-country skiing, living remote from people, no peach jam traffic. You're my kind of guy. Shout out to you. Anyway, this is the My Camping Adventures channel. Thank you for joining me. I am live streaming from Sportsman's Warehouse today. I have a great view of the world, people walking in and out. And you know, I've said here so many times, and I just recently noticed the moose up above, where do you call that, the ceiling area. But anyway, that's another tip I want to give out to you guys. When you're hiking or camping, be observant. Okay, be observant when you're out walking, of your surroundings. You know, you don't want to hear that, not hear that bear creaking in the woods there. He hears you long before you hear him, but you never want to get between a bear Mama and her cubs, okay? Believe me, I don't want to get between my wife and my son. Not that my wife's a bear, but I digress. Uh, cool. My friend in Finland said his little cruise was on a boat named after his village. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, the vestibule. What would I do without you guys? Anyway, this is the My Camping Adventures channel again. I am live streaming from Sportsman's Warehouse on a Saturday. It's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in northwestern PA. I'm sure that you guys have different time zones there, but it's nice if you can enjoy. Here we go. Check this out. This is the front entrance. I don't know if I could zoom in. Yes, I can zoom in a live stream. That is the coolest thing in the world, that little camouflage gas-powered, what do you call it, mini bike by Coleman for $849. If somebody would donate that, I'd buy it and ride it and do a video. Anyway, again, this is the My Camping Adventures channel, and I'd like to actually talk about some stuff today, give you guys some survival tips. People go out unprepared, okay? And you never know when something's going to happen. There's 10 pieces of gear you should always have with you. At least this is my list, and you could modify it. I'd add Black Rifle Coffee to that, but first of all, in the woods, a knifeless man is a lifeless man. You always need a knife or a cutting implement in the woods, and I usually carry at least two. I usually carry a fixed blade main knife like a Mora Garberg full tang knife or a Gerber strong arm, or a first steel knife as my primary survival knife. Then I carry a folding knife on my belt as my everyday carry, usually a Sog Flash 2. And sometimes I even have a Swiss Army knife in my pocket. 3 is 1, 1 is none, to me. Anyway, I also recommend that you have multiple ways to start a fire. Okay, the Bic lighter. That's the coolest thing in the world it used to be 99 cents, but I'll say $2 to carry with you. Okay, but a lighter's soon going to run out of fuel. So you also want to get a flint striker and know how to use it to throw some sparks. And then I also try and carry a third method as well. Usually Yuko stormproof matches in a plastic container. So I carry 2 or 3 knives with me. I carry 2 or 3 ways to start a fire. Next, you want shelter, okay? Whether you're backpacking in a tent, whether you're camping in a tent, I always usually bring a hammock too, because a hammock and a tarp and some rope, that could be a secondary form of shelter if your tent fails or you're caught without it. I often pack a little pack inside my big pack, so I have a survival and a day hike pack once I set up camp in the middle of the woods. Okay, so shelter. I'd always say carry a hammock. Next, you want a way to boil water. You want like a cook set, a pot, something that you can put over that fire or on your camp stove and boil water, because that's going to be your primary way of sterilizing water. And know the different methods, okay? Boiling water, coming to a rolling boil, is usually sufficient in North America. I'd leave it for another minute just to be sure. However, it's not going to take out the chemicals in the water or the sticky taste. It's still going to leave the particles in the water, so maybe you want to strain it through a bandana or a handkerchief first. However, I also carry a Grey-L water bottle with me that's like a French press that takes out viruses, cryptosporum, giardia, all the nasty stuff that's going to make you sick in the woods and possibly kill you. So carry one of those. I have a way to boil water, and I usually carry like a life straw as well. Again, 3 ways to purify water. Clothing. Always wear appropriate clothing. Unless you're in the desert, cotton kills. You want to wear a synthetic t-shirt, synthetic shorts or pants, and always have the proper clothing for your environment and some backup in your pack. I usually carry like 3 pairs of socks, so I recommend have 3 pairs of socks because you can be wearing one could be washed out in a stream or something hanging on your pack drying, and then you have a spare pair to go. I always carry a rain jacket and or rain pants, an extra t-shirt, an extra pair of pants if I can, extra pair of underwear, two extra pair of underwear if I can, and you're all set. Next, you want a hygiene kit because you need to stay clean in the woods. They used to make these little $7.99 travel kits that were perfect to take in the woods with you. They had everything you want. And you know what? Stay clean in the woods. Next, hydration. Okay, you want to carry water. You want a primary water bottle, maybe a backup bottle of water, and then you always want to keep those filled in a way to get more water. Now, the other thing is that I'd recommend is a survival blanket, a space blanket. I like the heavier duty ones. The little Mylar ones, real cheap ones, they rip after one use. I at least get the SOL ones, the orange ones for signaling that are a little bit heavier duty. Or I like the actual space blankets that are about $20 that you can reuse over and over if you're careful with them. I'd always carry cordage with me, at least 100 feet of paracord. You can open that paracord up and split it up into 7 strands, and you have 700 feet of rope. Okay? I've actually used paracord tied to a tree to help me down a hillside. I mean, you shouldn't rappel with the thing, but if you need to grab onto something, it's very useful. So, paracord. I also would carry, this is one of my things, tent stakes with you. Okay, I always carry at least 4 tent stakes with me because I can put that space blanket up or that tarp over my hammock and guide out with the paracord or with the bungees that come with it. So I'd have some tent stakes with me. Okay, so you need ways to purify water. You need ways to boil stuff. You need ways to, have the proper clothing, shelter, all those things. And then you need the proper pack to carry them. So those would be some of my survival tasks. No, it's not AI. I'm real. Come on. Okay, look. If you poke me, do I hurt? Yes. I'm not AI. Super duper SGH. Okay, I'd be a lot more polished if I was AI. Okay, and then look at my eyes. Okay, there, I'm not AI. Anyway, if you guys haven't subscribed, if you could subscribe, that's great. Again, thank you, Zacchaeus. No, I'm not at Bass Pro. Sorry, I can't talk and read at the same time. I'm at Sportsman's Warehouse in Northwest PA, hanging out, sitting in the lounge area. Check this out. Got a fake fireplace. All right. So anyway, this is Sportsman's Warehouse, and I'm hanging out. Thank you, Kelly's Logs. I'm trying to think of some adventure to do tonight. My family's kind of off on an adventure of their own. Going to see a concert down south. My offspring and some friends, and it's kind of funny. One of my wife's friends calls her car the Tank because it's a Jeep vehicle, but everything is like the doors slam like solid. The lock clicks loud. It's kind of funny. I'm going to tell you something funny I did to my wife one time, and I hate to say it, but I think she deserved it. This will be on record forever. She always leaves me sitting outside Walmart because she's going to run in for 5 minutes, okay? And if you've ever been sitting in a Walmart parking lot watching the people go by, it's a special kind of purgatory, or some say hell, depending on the time of day. And anyway, I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes. I had a set of keys to her Jeep, okay? Her Jeep can raise up 3 inches. She's not a tall woman. So finally, I get out, start her car, raise it 3 inches, get back in my seat, turn her car off, pretend like nothing happens. Poor girl comes out, she's lifting her leg, and she's like, "What did you do to my car?" That's okay. They got me back before. I went in somewhere and they were actually waiting for me, and they moved her Jeep because a Jeep just like hers parked next to hers, and they wanted to see if I'd go up to that Jeep and look in the door and figure out what's going on. So there's some hijinks going on with our Jeeps. But yeah, it was pretty good. Literally, okay, this is my Walmart horror story in the parking lot, and I'm gonna share it. It was at night one time. I was waiting for her. Literally, I saw a guy pull up in a car, get out of his car, go into Walmart, come out with clothes, sneakers, and everything. Literally, he took off the clothes that he had. He had like garbage, food, crap in his car, like he's traveling across the country. Took the clothes off he was wearing, put them in the garbage, put the new clothes on in the parking lot, got in his car, drove away. Didn't throw any of the food away. I later on wondered, was he covering up something? I don't know. Wasn't going to ask him, was too far away to get the real gist of it, but come on, where else in the world can you see a site like that? Anyway, this is the My Camping Adventures channel, and shout out to Kelly's Vlogs. Check out, she has some really cool videos. The peaceful beach scene, the beach class one. Uh, I'd be on the beach right now, but looks like it might rain. They keep saying, oh, it's going to rain. Oh, it's going to rain. It's like weird out. There's a chemical smell in the air. It's kind of cloudy. It's kind of 75. So I'm sitting here in the air conditioning at Sportsman's warehouse, talking with all you wonderful people around the world. Love to see if we used to get people from China, not China. I think I got from Hong Kong, but like Japan, Pakistan, UK, Mexico, Brazil, all over the place. I don't know what time it is in all those countries, but it'd be cool. Anyway, I want to shout out to my friend Zacchaeus in Finland, Kelly's Vlogs. Anybody who comes on here or watches this, if you could subscribe, that would be appreciated. I think that I gotta pretty much put I don't know, cooking oil on me or something to get people's attention and not light myself on fire, but I don't know, bake in the sun. I don't know, something interesting. See, here's the thing, okay? I've worked all my life and I hope to continue to be gainfully employed for a while longer. However, if all you do is work, go home, eat, take out the garbage, raise an offspring, pay all your bills, and then expire, what was the point? Okay? I look outside and there's one family whose kids are, I'll say they're not Native American or first, generation American. But guess what? Kudos to them. Their kids are always outside playing. They're riding their bikes. They're kicking the soccer ball. They're in the backyard. They're chasing each other. They're screaming. They're yelling at the raccoons in my yard. Okay? I look around our neighborhood, and 20 years ago, that used to be the norm. Okay? Now, nobody's kids come out. Nobody. And when they're walking, they have AirPods in their ears. They're staring at their phone. And God help you if you honk your horn at them, they're not going to hear you. Am I the last generation that went outside and played until the street lights came on? Got my homework done right away, ran out the doors. We played kickball. We played stickball. We played baseball. We played go sit at the neighbor's house and eat their food. Hear you, Kelly. I wonder what he's fishing for. I want to shout out to our friends who their son goes fishing all the time on the boat. That's all he wants to do. Caught a ton of walleye, which are actually called yellow pike, and they gave us 2 bags of them. And my wife made them with both the beer batter and some other kind of flaky, crusty seasoning. That was the best thing in the world. When I go home, I got some sloppy joes waiting for me, so just hanging out with you for a while. Trout, I love trout. Kelly, okay, tell your husband to do this if he doesn't. When he gets the trout, obviously, clean them, fillet them, whatever he does to them. I just cut the head off and then clean out the insides. But put them in tin foil on your grill. Put a pat of butter in there, some lemon juice, sprinkle it with pepper, tent it low, medium, low in your grill for 8 to 10 minutes where everything starts to bubble and the fish is white. You can pull the bones right out, and it is lemony. It is peppery. It is wonderful. It is flaky. It's the best way to eat trout I know, and that's what I do with all the trout that I catch. So I recommend he does that. So if you can share that with him, that'd be great. Uh, okay, I want to shout out to NHF SGH. I want to shout out to Denise Pineda. I want to shout out to Berto Nelly. All you guys, I want to shout out to you. And this is the My Camping Adventures channel, and I am live at Sportsman's Warehouse doing a live stream, and hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday. All right, Kelly. But hey, I'm going to check out now because I got some sloppy joes waiting for me, and then try and come up with an adventure a little later since I'm on my own tonight. Actually, I want to go to this place called Stumpy's and throw axes. However, that's kind of a sad thing when you're alone by yourself. It kind of makes people wonder why you're throwing axes. But yeah, if I could find a mate or somebody, I may go do that. Take care, Kelly. Tell your husband to cook that trout. This is the My Camping Adventures channel. Please like, click, share, and subscribe live from Sportsman's Warehouse.